Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios, Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shaggy McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Venture.
Good evening. I am Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Irian, and I'm playing Roscoe Acres, Clan Tremere.
I'm Timber Brad 411, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hekata.
And as everybody can see, we have two guest players tonight. I will let the guest players introduce themselves now.
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I will be playing Alessandro Emanuele Giuseppe della Famiglia Giovanni.
Way to follow that. I am the Ravenous Archon, and I will be playing Franklin Elias Crown of the Hermetic Order.
Welcome to Season 10, Episode 6, everybody. Over halfway already, damn. Last episode, Izzy met with Isabella and implanted some memories. Roscoe and Jackie met with Arden Canty. Then the whole coterie went out to see Dr. James Morduis. Worked a deal with him to get him out of Milwaukee that involves handing over 5 kindred, though he wasn't specific about what kindred, which is useful, I guess, to this coterie. Then, well, they finished that meeting. Corey was waiting for him at Jackie's Cabaret, and Jenny had a trip to the other side. Nicholas and Jackie had a very good heart-to-heart talk, I think. And then Roscoe, of course, we ended the episode with him finding Samantha comatose holding a mask that, through the use of his Tremere blood sorcery, revealed to have been her avatar. Now, when we're opening tonight, it's a day later. Roscoe, you are taking care of Samantha. At this point, she is willing to eat. She still holds the mask everywhere she goes, but she does eat, and she will speak in one-word replies, but she's still not altogether there. She just got done eating, as a matter of fact. You hear that voice that speaks in your head. He walks. He will enter the tower of the scepter and sword. And then it goes silence.
Okay. Do I know what the scepter and sword references?
You do know you're a Tremere. You know all the symbols of the various clans, at least ones that have an official symbol, and Ventru definitely use those symbols.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Well, is only Samantha around at the moment?
Only Samantha, yes.
Okay. I'll try to have a conversation with her. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard with just one word replies. But I'm going to be trying to get some kind of information about, what it's like to have lost the avatar. But that's
She won't discuss that at all. If you ask her if she's hungry, she says yes. If you ask her if she has to go to the bathroom, she'll say yes. If she's tired, she'll answer yes or no. But she doesn't discuss anything else. In between eating, sleeping, and restroom functions, she just stares at the mask. You have not been able to pry it out of her hands yet. She even sleeps holding it.
Will she let me touch it?
Yes.
Okay. Not really sure that I want to try spirits touching it, but
Are you going to do it anyway?
yes, I am.
So you ignore the warning message you got, your warning premonitions, and you're going to spirits touch. Please give me your intelligence aspects. We shall see what you get. Then you do, of course, get a power bonus, which is, +1 die. 6 successes, but not a critical. As soon as you touch it, the first thing you feel wash over you is contempt. Contempt at what you're doing, contempt at you. Comes off the mask itself.
Okay. I can tell that it's from the mask, not from Samantha.
It's coming from the mask, but there's multiple sources. You don't know what they are, but there's multiple sources. And as you try to drive further back, you start to feel pain. Pain pushing back, fighting against you. It's a power. Well, you recognize it from long ago, long ago. Magic is being used against you. Take 1 superficial damage as your nose starts to bleed. Even though you're kindred, you shouldn't bleed like that. You do.
Okay.
And you get no other info other than a contempt and a hatred of what you are.
Okay.
She doesn't even seem to notice your nose start bleeding.
Have I been able to tell whether she's lost the bond or is she still under influence?
I will assume you've used Scry the Soul between then.
Okay.
The bond is still there. Still strong. But all of her auras are muted, a mishmash of colors because of her current mental state.
Okay. Well, Samantha, do you want me to talk to Franklin about this?
She actually doesn't answer to that question. Just grips the mask tighter.
Because, as much as far as I know, he's the only one who really can help or do anything.
I'm rolling something real quick. Okay. I'm just checking something. She doesn't answer it at all.
Is there anybody you know that I can talk to? I can tell them about what's happened.
No. That's all she says. One word.
Well, it's hard to get anything out of her incoherent with one words. Do you want me to try to fix this?
Yes. And then she grips the mask tighter, rolls on her side, and starts to doze off on your couch. You've seen that. Her sleep pattern is rapid when it comes upon her. She'll be asleep for 10 hours. You'll wake up. You'll be sleeping the day sleep before she comes and is awake again. You've been using Michael to keep an eye on her during the day.
Okay. Well, now that I know that she's going to be out, I do need to go to my evening ritual at Jackie's to bring the Sanguine Watcher back.
Yep, you do. So you're heading over to Jackie's. I'm actually flashing over right now. Alessandro, you've sent your men in. They know when to signal you after they feel it's secure. Jackie, you get a call from the security office in your building.
Yes.
Ma'am, you told us to let you know if there was anybody aside from the designated individuals approaching the condo.
Yes.
Ma'am, I just saw 3 guys go into the door.
Where are they now?
They're in the condo, ma'am.
Thank you. She sends out a text on the sat phone. I need everyone here now.
No, I'll reply already on the way.
Nicholas will reply, be right there.
Okay. Jenny?
Jenny's gonna send like a whooshy emote with like an owl. So yeah.
And you get a reply
Emote.
back from Isabella. It says, I'll be there when I can. Stuck in a thing with Alan tonight.
Jackie will send back to her directly. We should have it covered.
She just sends back a smiley face. Now, while Jackie is waiting, do you go down or wait for the whole coterie? I mean, you have Peter and Etienne, but...
I'm dealing with a necromancer. I'm not taking my ghouls.
Okay. So is Jackie going to wait for support? Provided, of course, security doesn't see them leave.
Yes, she's going to call back down to security and tell them to notify her if they make any moves out, to leave.
Ma'am, if we see him get on the elevator, we'll lock the elevator out.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am. And while Jackie is waiting, you get another call from security. Ma'am, 2 more men just went in the room. Alessandro, you and your final bodyguard, have entered the condo now. And Jackie, you're notified. 2 more men have entered, one of them in a white suit, like you had described to us, ma'am.
Excellent. Thank you. Keep eye if they decide to leave. Lock it down.
And to speed it up for Alessandro for this one, I'm going to roll real quick because you'll be doing your own rolls here shortly, but there's one I'm going to roll real quick as soon as I can find this thing here. There it is.
And in the future, I thank you all for your patience with me as I don't use Fantasy Grounds much, so don't quite know how it operates.
That's okay. We're happy to walk you through it.
As you enter, Alessandro, the place doesn't look that much different from when you were last in there. There's no sign of Zal. Your men have gone over it, said they didn't see anybody in here. No sign of the girl, as they refer to her as. But as you're looking around, you do notice there's a spotch of blood on one of her shelves. It's a small pool of blood, not very big.
I'll probably investigate it. That's bizarre to have just on a shelf.
Yes, it's behind some of her taxidermy when it looks like it's happened more than once and it's been cleaned up after each instant. But right now the blood is dried blood right there, has not been cleaned yet.
I'm no like medical practitioner, but is there any way I could tell how old that blood might be? I
At
have
least
enough
a
medicine to be a necromancer, not enough to be a doctor.
No, you've been around enough. You'd figure at least 12 hours.
I'm gonna have two of the guards positioned either side of the door, and then one by me, and then another just sort of patrolling the common area that we're in right now.
Okay.
Not because I think there's anything, but more just, when unfamiliar things happen, set up routine.
Now, you've been warned by your spirits that while they can get in tonight, the wards are almost done.
And you said the security room is totally locked
Totally
out
locked
to them,
off.
right?
They tried to come in through the wires, and one of your assistants got burned as they tried to cross the barrier between the wires and the security room.
Would they... So security rooms off limits. What about stuff like maintenance areas?
They can still do stuff in there, but the main reason you were using them was to edit security footage,
Yeah.
to remove yourself from it, and to, of course, check for other visitors you didn't expect. But locked out of it is a problem because you don't know when she was last in the room. You don't know how many days it's been or if anyone else has been here.
Can I see if she still has any like supplies for rituals or anything like that lying around anywhere?
She does not appear to have any with her. You know, she kept them normally in her bag that she carried with her. You do see a partly finished taxidermy project that's been kept in a shoebox.
I roll my eyes and walk past it. That's a taxidermy project.
Mm-hmm.
That was her thing, not mine.
Jackie, the rest of the coterie has arrived at this point.
All right. Mr. Giovanni is currently in the condo that Zol was squatting in.
Just him?
No, he has a number of guards. How many was it?
4 total.
4 total.
Plus him.
Plus him.
The only question I really have is it a problem if you have some damage done to your property?
I have insurance.
Perfect. I figured, I am just trying to do the courtesy as one building owner to a fellow building owner.
I don't care.
So
I don't care. Yes, trust me. If insurance doesn't cover it, I have enough money to pay to fix it out of pocket.
Oh, no. I guess. Is there any chance that there's like neighbors or something they're going to hear or
that
see
entire
something?
floor and the floor under it and the floor above it has been cleared out so that Arden can ward it.
Okay, awesome, perfect. See, that's what I'm just,
Trust me, it is nice and quiet.
CYA.
And she knocks on a wall. Soundproofing as well. I built a quality building.
Well, soundproofing only do so much if you accidentally take someone through a wall. So.
Granted. But don't worry, I have cleared out the floors above and below.
Sweet.
All right. Etienne, Peter.
Ma'am?
I do not wish for you to accompany. He is a Giovanni. You are at risk.
We will go down to the lobby, ma'am,
All right.
and cover the elevator.
Excellent. Thank you.
Were you able to determine? Oh, good.
I was just going to say, are we counting this whole thing right now as one scene?
Yes, we'll count it as one
I'm going to
scene.
rouse for toughness.
Jackie, were you able to see where they went? Are they all?
They are all in the room. I have a security team tailing them.
Okay.
Basically watching them.
Did you set up any security in the room while we were all out?
No.
Okay. I should probably have a quick look before we make any moves.
Good idea.
Okay, so you're going to use clairvoyance.
Yes.
What a time for somebody to not have heightened senses. Though, okay, go ahead and roll your clairvoyance, which is intelligence all specs 4.
I'm going to willpower that.
Hmm. Five successes. The difficulty was 3, so you have 2 questions as you push down. As your eyes go unfocused and you push your awareness.
Okay, where are the men in the room?
2 of them are one is on either side of the door. Where is Alessandro right now with his other 2 that are sticking very close?
At the moment, I've probably gone through the main room already and am currently checking the bedroom.
Okay. So there's where you see them.
I am now at 1 hunger.
Okay. That's really the only questions that I had. And I'll tell the rest of the coterie what I saw.
Excellent. I've roused for toughness, storyteller.
Gotcha.
I am going. Let's go ahead and go down. And she grabs her sword cane.
Doing one thing real quick.
Jenny, I rose for toughness. The die rolled a 9 and it just didn't show in chat. I rolled it on the thing. Anyway, that's also, I'm going to do Unseen Passage and activate Silence of Death. So.
Okay. So you all get into the elevator and begin to head down 2 floors. That's it. 2 floors down. It's a quick elevator ride for you 2. As you come out on the floor and start approaching the door, Alessandro, a voice whispers in your ear, "You got company, boss."
I will make my way into the front room, but stay away from the door and still only have the 2 guards there for now.
Okay. You got 2 flanking the door. The other 2, do you have them standing beside you or do you have them standing less threatening away from you?
I have 1 standing beside and 1 with sights trained on the door.
Okay.
For in case something comes in swinging.
The voice whispers, "It's 4, boss. Your kind."
Every damn second. And then I just wait.
You all are at the door.
Jackie's going to knock once and say, "Landlord," and then unlock it.
Okay. You unlock the door.
Mm-hmm. And open it.
You open the door. Describe yourself, Alessandro.
A young man in what appears to be his mid-20s, very obvious Italian heritage, slicked, very well-maintained dark black hair, a bit pale for complexion, obviously, and then wearing a crisp white suit, black undershirt, white tie, white slacks, and what look like white dress shoes.
And what you see at the door is 3, Alessandro. Your ghost told you 4, but you don't see the 4th.
Good evening, Mr. Giovanni.
Jacqueline Durand, I presume.
Indeed, I am the owner of this building. I have some questions
now?
for you. And she walks in.
Nicholas will walk in after her and immediately eyeball him. Is like, I thought I smelled incestuous asshole.
The lowest common joke, as if none of you are really any creative. What would you like to discuss, Madame Durand? And I turn, ignoring Nicholas.
Why was your child squatting in my building?
I did not know this was your building.
Ignorance is not an excuse.
She needed a place that was defensible.
Your child murdered my tenant.
I highly doubt that, Madame Durand.
Or did you murder my tenant?
No. If you will let me. And I'll reach into a pocket on my suit coat and take out what looks like a pretty basic wedding ring. Clear up this misunderstanding.
Form. Hazy, hard to see, but you can see it.
I'm going to flip on Oblivion Sight.
That makes it much clearer to see. The little
Nicholas
old lady
will too.
that used to live here is standing there. Oh, hi, Missy.
Hello, dear.
Sorry for the mess. I didn't mean to die. Turns out it was my time. Stumbled. Went and sat down to take a rest and catch my breath, and the old ticker gave out.
Really?
I don't know why I find myself on this side. This is a weird place.
Do be careful over there.
Tell Junior to keep that ring protected, though.
And as she says that, I'll put it back in my suit coat.
Mr. Akers, what was it that you saw when you surveyed this place?
Well, I felt the old lady living her daily routine, then the pain, quite a bit of it. I'm forgetting some of the details at this point, storyteller.
You felt the pain of it. You felt the imprint of it.
I thought you told him that he felt someone being drained.
He did. And he thought it was the woman. Which is an odd combination.
Either way, it matters not. She was squatting here.
Would you like me to pay what she owed?
Certainly. On top of that, I do have to inform you, your child is deceased. No longer with us. Gone for good.
I had suspicions.
Jackie,
Thank you for the confirmation.
your phone rings.
Who, mine?
Yes. Security office.
Yes.
Ma'am, there's an older man, glasses, blue shirt, coming down the hallway towards the condo you're in. Don't recognize him, ma'am.
Fucking hell. This night just gets better. So, honestly, what the fuck?
In what regard? You seem to
In
have been
all
asking
the
me several.
regards. Zol was staying here. She's out of her fucking mind. What the hell?
Was it not obvious she was bait?
And what was with the freaking vermin in the place?
Storyteller, would I know anything about?
As I said before, you know, or as I told you privately, you know nothing about any insect infestation in the place.
I can assure you all of her taxidermy is well beyond deceased by the time she got to it.
I don't have any issue with the taxidermy. Hell, I own a few pieces myself. When we were investigating, because we found out that she was squatting here the night of her demise. there were beetles. Little miniature beetles. All over the place.
Scarabs.
Yes.
Your confusion is as genuine as mine, at least in that regard.
Speaking of confusion, when I was observing the history of the place, it seemed like Zell had periods of clarity and then confusion alternating. Were you?
I had to check in, did I not?
We're going to hold right there a second. Jenny, you're in the hallway as you see Franklin coming down the hallway towards you. He knows where he's going. You don't know how, but he knows exactly where he's going. He's following some sort of odd trail.
Yeah, Jenny's gonna like step in front of him and drop unseen passage, and just kind of put her finger up to her lips.
Oh, sorry, that's new.
She'll drop Silence of Death. Good evening, Franklin.
Shuts.
One moment, and she'll stick her head into the condominium, like kind of like sideways, like Mr. Franklin Crown is here. Franklin, who are you looking for?
Mr. Akers in particular.
Roscoe?
Yes.
He's here for you.
In what regard?
I don't know, but I just step out of the room. I'll take your spot. It's okay.
Okay. And we'll trade.
Jesus, was I unaware that there was a house party tonight?
It's always a party when I'm there, Jackie.
I know it is. But truly, you could not have investigated to see who owned such a well-fortified place.
I assumed it was owned by one of the many entities that own Chicago and simply left it there. Apologies if you feel this was an invasion. It was not my intent.
What was the intent? Truly.
Zal needed a new place to reside,
Why?
and I was tired of burning down apartments.
Why? Why would you burn down her apartments?
Once or twice it was simply to cover tracks. Most of the other fires were unfortunately not my doing.
She was hunted, yes?
As is every Giovanni in this city.
And why is that?
I assume for any of the myriad reasons my family would be hunted. So many blame our predecessors for the existence of us, even though our actions were not tied to theirs in any way.
Some would call it their comeuppance.
Those who cannot hold power are doomed to lose it, Mr. Bowens. You should have been aware of that.
Which is why you're being hunted.
They haven't got me yet, have they? We were narrowing it down. Every attack brought us closer and reduced their numbers. It's not just spirits hunting, though.
What else is it?
One of ours. Vampire. Kindred. I couldn't tell you who. Believe me, if I did, this would be a different conversation. Is that all the questions you wish to ask of me, and may I leave now?
Do you have a card?
I'll reach into the pocket opposite side of the wedding ring and hold out a business card.
She takes it. So I know where to send the bill.
It's some generic sort of like banking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why destroy her memory?
Because there had to be no question that she was the last. Her memory was not destroyed either. It was locked away, to be accessed much like you would information inside of a vault. I destroyed no part of my child. Just stowed her on a shelf.
And a voice whispers, shall I show 'em, boss?
Not yet. Let's see if they ask first. And it would depend on which one of them wants to see. I'm sure some would find it invasive.
Of the group, only Nicholas heard the spirit's voice because Nicholas has that power.
And you obviously heard my side of the conversation.
Everyone heard
so
his responses, yes.
Yeah, just talking to air.
What did you hide?
What she asked me to hide.
What did she have you hide?
I suppose you can show them.
Everyone has to give me a willpower check. Because the vampiric condition automatically will try to resist. Something
Just
like
straight
that.
willpower?
Straight willpower. Yep.
What happens here if you have unswayable mind?
Doesn't matter for this particular power. It's not
Okay.
attempting to change your thing or anything else. It's just straight willpower.
What if you're not a kindred?
I got 2.
Unless you have a mind defense up, you're getting it.
He's not even in the room.
The door is still
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
Do I just roll the number of dice, or how
Yep,
do you roll?
just roll
willpower?
number of dice you have for willpower.
I have a couple of questions
Oh
that
no,
I
I rolled the
wanted
wrong
to,
amount. Shit.
to hop in with. So I'm already like moved myself so I can see into the room, because you have said some shit out loud that I need answers for.
Ooh, I got 7 with a crit. Okay. I rolled the right amount of dice. Got better roll.
So Jackie and Jenny aren't going to get this. I will roll. What is Franklin's willpower? Or let you roll it and tell me how many successes you got, Franklin.
Got
Actually,
it.
no, you don't get a resist. You're stuck with it because you don't have a mind defense up.
Would it be something aggressive enough that I could counterspell it when the moment it happens to me?
It is a wraith using a Mimni power.
Okay, no. Okay.
It's probably a pressure on your frontal cortex a little
Yeah,
bit.
you know it. You know it is not your memory for sure. You know it's coming from somewhere else, so it's not like it'll fool you. But for everybody except Jackie and Jenny, a memory floods into you. It is from the point of view of Alessandro, of all things, and simultaneously a memory from the point of view of Zal. They are discussing the last of the clan in the city, is the 2 of them. Alessandro asks her, "Are you sure you're willing to do this? This is dangerous." And Zal says, "I'm the only one who can do it. I'm the last link she has. I'm the last that helped her. I'll give up my memories for a time, for the good of the family." And you can tell Alessandro, because you're seeing it from both sides, he's not pleased, but at the same time, he's also proud that she's willing to take this risk for the family because he knows the danger. And then you see her eyes glaze over as someone takes all of her memories and shoves them deep inside and locks them behind a door.
And then at the same time, Alessandro is layering on quite a significant amount of dominate to truly seal it shut. So she can barely remember anything important to what she is doing.
The dominate also included check-in times, how often to communicate, things to do. Let it be known she destroyed Clan Giovanni. bits and pieces. And then the memory fades. Jackie and Jenny, you were not part of this memory. Everyone else was.
The last connection to who?
For someone living in Chicago, you certainly don't know any of its history.
He's a transplant.
Noticeably. Her name was Marley Giovanni.
Jackie, you've been in the city long enough. You know that was the head of the Giovanni in the city that worked with Jackson.
I know of her.
Zal was her assistant and apprentice.
What about her?
Zal had a gift for the necromantic art. I am a practical user, but I do not know its more layered aspects. Zal seemed interested. We set them up.
Why was she made to believe she destroyed you all?
To keep away from connection. If she made too many inroads with any of the Camarilla or with the Anarchs or whoever, it colors her perception too much, making her believe she was Kaitif, eliminated that. And then if she is responsible for the death of everything around her, no one will wish to connect with her because they could be the next thing to die.
That is why you threatened. And she looks at Nicholas.
A majority of the reason, yes. As I said, I would not even be the one to come after you. Truly, I believe they would have gotten confused and attacked him as well.
They almost did.
I heard about the failure of an assassination attempt on his life. They should have known he would have had some spirits to wake him.
What will you do now?
Continue the hunt. Or if I am to fall in that hunt, the ones after me will. Until La Familia is avenged.
Alessandro, you just realized as you're talking that necklace that you've always seen around Nicholas is not there, and none of your spirits have told you he has a companion.
Nicholas, do you have any other questions?
So many, but I wouldn't trust him to answer them truthfully.
It is a bit of a coin toss when it comes to us, isn't it?
And Jackie, you can tell Franklin has maneuvered to the point he's actually looking in the room at everybody from the hallway.
Then you are free to go. I will send the bill. Would you like for me to dispose of her personal effects, or would you like to keep them?
Everything can go.
Understood.
On the way out, Nicholas is going to grab the nearest taxidermy animal and just like tuck it under his arm. Not say anything, just take it.
Nicholas,
It's definitely a cat.
As you go to leave, Alessandro, all of your spirits at once shout a warning to you. Spectre.
The one with the outrage that I have tasked, I tell them to go distract it while everyone else makes their leave.
Jackie calls down to security and says they're free to go.
You suddenly see objects start whipping around the apartment.
The fuck?
Leave, get out if you want to be safe.
As soon as I
down the
see,
hall.
You heard it. You heard it.
But we heard the warning from his
Nicholas,
goons
because of your power, you can hear ghosts speak when they're not. They don't realize you can't hear them.
Yeah,
you heard them say Spectre.
As soon as that, Nicholas will just say, "We should go," and then immediately yell, "There's the guy you're looking for!" And yeah, make down the hallway.
I'm not even surprised. I just keep walking down the fucking hall.
As you're walking down the hall,
come, Mr. Crown.
Something separates from the elevator. Izzy is walking down the hallway with fire in her eyes.
Staring at me?
You and Nicholas. All of you can see her.
I would like to put my fingers in my mouth and whistle, and have all the meat shields run out of the condo and get in front of me.
Okay.
All 4 of them.
She's got a hungry look on her face.
It's letting you play more, isn't it?
You let him live, brother? You are weak.
We always knew you were the stronger of the two of us.
And yet somehow she's falling to her own shadow. Pathetic.
Falling? The shadow and I have reached an agreement.
At that point, Nicholas will move himself out of the way between the two of them, whether or not she responds to it, and go, have at him.
I have not come for him. The one looking for him will find him. I just come to watch, brother.
You will leave now.
No, I don't think so yet. I'm not finished yet.
He turns her back to the Izzy thing and kind of whispers at Jackie, "Is it important that he lives?"
Not to me.
What?
I said not to me.
Oh, never mind. Whatever. Ginny's just gonna be like, whatever. She's going the opposite direction. She's going towards like a fire escape. She wants out of this fucking shit.
Jackie steps on an elevator with...
The elevator doesn't open because she came out of it.
Fucking bitch. She says that out loud too, and then she goes up these stairs.
I am. Brother. You know who sent me, right?
I can guess who has your leash.
She's taught me much. Do you know who I serve? Giovanni.
Yes, I know exactly what you serve. It has no business here.
It has all the business it wishes. She wants you to know she masterminded the death of your child.
I learned. It's hard to monopolize specters, but she seems to have accomplished it nonetheless.
Do not fear, it won't be the specters who come for you.
Who said anything about fear?
It stalks the night looking for you. Run while
As
you
it always
can.
had. You said you were only here to watch, correct?
Well, I was here to pass a message.
Received.
I will return to her and tell her you were here. Run fast, little Giovanni.
Tell it that the peace offering was wasted on it.
I will. And then she turns and walks back through the elevator door as you hear the elevator going back down. Because ghosts can't fly. They have to ride the elevator.
Just through auditory stuff, I'm going to listen to see if my spirit that was distracting the specter has been et already or not.
No, the specter was her.
Oh, perfect. That works.
You were distracting the specter.
Jackie, as you were getting on the stairs, you heard the conversation.
I'm leading Roscoe and Franklin up the stairs.
Okay. What is everybody else doing?
Oh, Nicholas will just turn his back on Alessandro and follow the stairway.
Alessandro, what are you doing?
Mr. Bowens. And I'll flick the wedding ring to him.
Why?
She's too new. But it seems like you need assistance. And then I will beat feet out of there. And also I'm going to tell the Memnoi to kill anyone's memory of seeing me leave.
For the non-kindred, it's pretty damn easy.
Yeah.
Humans don't resist it very well. But the kindred remember you.
They let me go. I'm not worried about them. I'm only worried about like human witnesses.
Yep.
And then I'm keeping my meat shields around me as if it's like a proper evacuate the VIP sort of situation.
Okay. And you flee the building. Bodyguards and spirits in tow. What's the rest of the coterie doing? You've taken Franklin upstairs.
Yes. She actually allows both of you to come into her penthouse. Please, if you need to have a discussion, help yourself to my sitting room. I'm going to be in my office.
Thank you, Jack.
Many thanks.
Because Nicholas is behind them, I'm assuming like the door's going to be closed. So when he gets to her door, he'll knock.
She actually opens it on her way to the office. You're welcome in, Nicholas. They're just going to have a talk in the sitting room.
Nicholas will follow you.
Okay. Come with me to my office.
Yeah.
Since Jenny went to like the fire escape, like stairwell on the opposite end of the hallway, she's just gonna text and be like, "Do you guys need me for anything?"
And Jackie just sends, "Sorry to waste your time tonight."
Jenny will respond with, "It's fine. I'm gonna head out." So.
And she says, "Thank you."
Jenny will just respond with like, "Don't worry about it." So.
Okay. Franklin and Roscoe. Now, has Roscoe given any updates? Did Roscoe tell the coterie what Samantha's condition was?
No, we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Okay.
Jackie and Nicholas are not in the room, though, are they?
No.
Not unless you invite them in.
They're in the office.
Okay. Well, no, I'll knock on the door and say, you guys might want to hear this.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to allow you to some privacy if you needed it. And
well, Franklin, do we need privacy?
Not at all. Not from what I understand. I have some concerns about Samantha as all. I figured you'd be the best one to
I
reach out
figured
to
it
her.
was, private business you needed to discuss or something. So sure, we'll join you. Can I get you something to drink, Franklin?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Rond.
Of course.
I've been needing to talk to you about Samantha, as a matter of fact.
No. Coincidence.
You obviously you have felt something is up with her.
I've felt the strangeness because I can sense her alive, but I can't sense her avatar anymore.
About that. She had an encounter with a very ancient kindred, Persephone, to be specific, who, after a little bit of a, Samantha being Samantha, took exception to her, talking to her, and went to confront her and got pushed into Stygia, and who spent some time with the Lady of Fate.
In the land of the dead.
Yes.
And
while
she
alive.
survived.
Yes, she did survive, for certain values of survival. She just recently came back the other night. She is not the same. She is
the other night. And I'm hearing about this now.
Yes. I frankly didn't know exactly what to do. I've tried talking to her. She's mostly non-responsive. I mean, one word sentences. But the state, what she came back with, holding as a physical object, is what's really got me worried about her. It is a mask, mostly human looking, but somewhat alien. And it was plucked out of her. And I believe you probably can guess that it was her avatar.
Mr. Akers, I remember having a conversation with you, warning you about her infatuation with you.
Yes.
Now you tell me that her avatar has been ripped from her body and made manifest physically.
Yes.
Can I see her?
Absolutely, yes.
So Roscoe can either have Michael bring her there, or you can bring everyone or bring people to your shop.
Let's go to my shop so we don't endanger Jackie's haven.
Do the coterie members, besides Jenny, go with him?
Roscoe, would you like for us to accompany?
I would always appreciate the company, but don't feel that you have to if you don't want to.
I will go. Nicholas, what would you like to do?
Well, considering I had something I needed to speak with you about, I suppose if you're going, I can go, though I don't
We
know
can
what
ride
use I would
separate.
be.
We can ride separate and have our discussion. All right?
So you all pile up. Franklin, you take your own vehicle, Roscoe. Franklin, you know where his shop is.
And Nicholas will ride with Jackie.
His new shop, even. Tracy has told you quite a bit before this meeting. You knew his shop relocated. Jackie and Nicholas are riding together. Let's have Jackie and Nicholas talk on the way. Is anyone going to let Jenny know to meet at Roscoe's shop, or are you just going to let her wander off tonight?
Nicholas wouldn't, but he's
Jackie
just
will send a
disconnected.
text. If you don't have any hot dates planned for tonight, let's meet up at Roscoe's shop, new shop. Franklin's visiting about Samantha.
Oh, Jenny has to like stop on a roof and de-shift like one of her hands into her like her feet into like a hand or a wing, I guess, into a hand, so she can type on the phone. Just be like, Oh, I thought you were going to say his shop was on fire again. Wait, I suppose it might be.
It's up to you if you want to come or not.
She's going to respond with, I have a mighty urge to shit on Roscoe. So we'll see what happens. And she'll leave it at that. And she'll take off again. She'll kind of head towards Roscoe's shop. I'll decide here in the next minute. I'll type it in the Zoom chat if I decide to show up or not.
I'm sorry, Nicholas. I just wanted to let Jenny know in case she wanted to take part as well. What is it you wanted to talk to me about?
And at that point, Nicholas will pull the ring that Alessandro threw to him. I didn't know if keeping this to myself was the best decision or not. And considering I seem to make lots of bad decisions, I figured sooner the better.
That is Mrs. Robinson's ring. She was a widow.
He told me I needed assistance now and threw it at me.
Your sister is a specter.
Ran.
Not a shadow. A specter.
Yes, it is problematic.
Treat her kindly, Mrs. Robinson. She was a sweet old lady.
Understood.
I have no use of it. Truly.
I was unsure if maybe she had some relative that might.
Her and her husband never had children.
I see. Then I will hold on to it until I find something better to do with it. And I assure you this one won't go to her.
Good. Just treat her kindly. She has a motherly nature about her. If you treat her kindly, she'll take care of you.
That's all Nicholas has. Like it's.
Okay. And as you all are riding over to Roscoe's shop, right here, everybody, I'm going to leave y'all hanging for 10 more minutes as we go to break. Alessandro got out alive.
Oh no, Jackie's just like, there's bigger fish after him. Fuck it.
Hey, I didn't die to you guys, which was my entire goal this episode.
Hey, Nicholas, and honestly, as long as something fucks him up, it ain't got to be Nicholas. That's all I'm saying.
And as Jenny pointed out, the madam's prophecy was rather self-fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
You were played, Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas ain't happy about that at all. Yeah. Shut up, Morgan.
So we will go to break, everybody. We will see you in 10 minutes. Please enjoy.
Introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? Set bad authority. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called authority. Let's sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, to keep me beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, to keep me youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? A Jabet authority. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger, does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, well, the coterie finally got to, as a group, minus Red, meet Alessandro, who managed to survive the encounter, though they found out, well, the madam is not as neutral as she's claimed to be, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And Zal was a willing participant in all of the affairs going. But also Franklin was party to a portion of that and asked about Samantha. Roscoe told him what he's figured out already. And as we left, the coterie is heading over to Roscoe's shop. Now, Ginny, you're one of the first ones there. The rest of you arrived together because it was just a cavalcade of cars. I mean, it was just almost a, Ginny, you see, since you were flying anyway, it makes it real easy for you to go point A to point B. You see a literal convoy of vehicles coming up in front of Roscoe's shop.
And before we get out of the car, Jackie looks at Nicholas and says, I decided to go in civil because I had suspicions. And I did not destroy him. And I'm glad I didn't. Because hearing your sister basically say it's the madam setting him up, I refuse to be that bitch's pawn.
Yeah, I don't appreciate being used.
Manipulated?
Indeed.
Indeed. She is not what she claims. She claims neutrality.
Honestly, I could have cared less if she'd have just told me she wanted the Giovanni gone. I'd have helped. She didn't have to lie and manipulate to do it.
Exactly. But we are here.
And regardless, he'll get what's coming to him.
Exactly. We don't need to dirty our hands with that. They get out of the car.
And as you get out of the car, Roscoe is out of his vehicle. Franklin. Jenny, are you still in Al form? Or have you been Jenny form?
Jenny's in Jenny form, like sitting on the curb.
Do you?
So
Here's the funny part. Were you waiting for them, or did you make it a point to transform so that Franklin could see you go from Al to Jenny?
no, I was already in
Okay.
Jenny form waiting. So
Well, come on in, everybody.
And as you all step into his shop, he takes you to the back. As you go into the back room, because that's where the stairs are leading to the second floor, which is more of the living areas. Franklin, you've never been in the back of his shop. There is a very potent, you can feel it without even trying, magic item. Looks like a stone tablet, but you can feel it as soon as you step in the room. Hits you like a wave.
Is it like prominently displayed?
He doesn't have it prominently displayed, but he does have it. It's on a pedestal that is moved to the side, but it's stored back there right now because he didn't want to leave it in the front area.
Nicholas, when he walks in, will literally just go to the tablet and just study it, not touch it, but just
It still has the don't touch sign.
All right.
He just moved it from the back because Tracy said don't leave it in the front of the shop.
Right.
Yeah, Nicholas is just being there because he kind of came along because he needed to talk to Jackie, but now that he's there, he's not really focusing on at least anything else right now, but he will study the stone just to get another look at it.
I'll point to it and I'll be like, Mr. Akers, you just have that out in the open like that?
Yes. Why shouldn't I?
It's incredibly powerful. You understand this?
Oh, so several people have found this out. Well, they basically fucked around and found out. Doesn't seem to have quite the same effect on me.
Consider yourself lucky then.
And Roscoe takes you up a set of stairs. And as you all come up, he's got a nice little living area above the shop. I mean, it's very Roscoe. I'm not going to say it's velvet and suede. No, I'm not going that route. But it is very much Roscoe. You can tell it's a scholar's place. He's got a large number of bookcases and bookshelves covered with books, various relics of time spread about. But you all immediately notice Samantha is curled up on her side on the couch, holding a mask made of, it's a whitish material, but it's pearlescent, so it shimmers a bit at times. The look you can tell is based off her face, but not quite. It is alluring, yet at the same time terrifying all at once.
And has it been about 10 hours? Is it more or
No,
less
it's still the same night.
Still the same night.
She is asleep.
Okay. So I go over and say this is part of her regular her sleep schedule now. She when she does go to sleep, it's kind of abrupt, and it'll last for about 10 hours until she wakes up. She's pretty much out.
This has been recorded by you consistently, 10 hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
I assume
sit
Franklin
with her.
can sense the avatar in the mask, but
Okay.
it's not right.
I will sit with her and kind of prop her head on my lap.
She doesn't stir.
Mr. Akers, you said that she was shunted into the Shadowlands.
Well, to be precise, she was shoved into the Shadowlands. Just and I show him exactly how Corey.
Literally, one hand on the chest and just pushed.
And then I didn't see her until she reappeared in my shop. And
How long was the gap?
It was about a week.
Weeks.
No,
It was about a solid week.
About a solid week? I
Yep.
thought it was 2.
No, we didn't skip that many days between them.
It was a week of our time, anyway. Well, you can see her clothes; they're all faded, as if she's been somewhere for a much, much, much longer time.
You haven't changed her.
She hasn't wanted to. She does nothing but sit and stare at the mask and in her hands. I mean, she eats a bite here and there, and we have the conversation that basically she responds to me with one word at a time, yes, no, that sort of thing. But she hasn't shown any more cognitive ability. One step at a time.
Do you have a television up here?
You watch the news from time to time, I'm sure.
I have my computer. I watch,
If you could,
news.
you could bring that over to me, please.
Sure. Okay.
And I will very caringly put one hand kind of like caressing her hair and just kind of leave it on top of her head and put my other hand on the computer monitor. Now we use correspondence, time, and spirit so that I can show them what she saw. Show all of us what she saw.
And on the
what
monitor,
happened to her.
You see her facing off against Corey. A beautiful woman wearing, it's a black outfit, goes all the way up to the neck, mini skirt, sleeveless. And then you see Samantha step in front of her, and the woman call her a child and shove her. And then the point of view shifts, and she's in it's a large hall of some kind. There's actually a throne in the hall, but the throne is made, it looks like it's woven bits of reed and wood woven all together into a throne. And there's a woman who's sitting on the throne, very dark skin, tanned in some ways, you think. And as she stands up, she appears pregnant, which is odd for a spirit. You've never heard of a pregnant spirit, but she appears to be pregnant. As she smiles and goes, "Oh, a gift for me. You have been sent from a friend." And then you see Samantha look down at her hands clenching as she tries to summon her power and invoke the spheres. And this woman gets an odd look. Now that's something I have not felt in a very, very long time. And she motions with her hand, and you feel the tearing, or you can see the tearing, you can see it pull. You hear her scream as something is ripped from her. It is a spirit of some kind standing in front of her. Angelic, large swan wings, beautiful, flawless features. And this woman smiles. I never thought I would see one of you again. So be it. And she motions and chains wrap it. And then in comes 4 men. They're burnt up their arms. They're spirits, obviously, but their arms are blackened all the way up to the elbows. They're covered with lines that almost looks like steel has been melted and is mostly cooled. As they take this spirit by the chains and open up a hole in the floor where it is a flame you can see, but it is blue, an unnatural blue, as they shove the spirit in it. And then the lady motions, bring the others. And they drag in 2 other spirits and throw them into this molten pool. And then the 2 men with the blackened arms, looks to be a crucible of some kind. They dip it into the material and pull it out and start hammering it with their hands on the floor into the shape of a mask. And the lady smiles. I'm afraid, my dear, you won't get any help from them anymore. They are now 3. It can war with the other 2 I imprisoned with it. And then Samantha starts screaming. And then it fades to black again.
I'm gonna gently get up, being very careful with Samantha. I'm gonna take the laptop or computer monitor, and then I'm going to just fling it against the wall.
So what did we just witness?
As best as I can imagine, Mr. Akers, we just got to see some part of the spirit world that we weren't supposed to see. And not spirits with a capital S that we are used to. I'm talking about the restless. I'm talking about Quran's area. There's no coming back from this, Mr. Akers. Even if I could, even if we as a community of Awakened could put that back in her, there's no control anymore. There are variables that not even I could fathom what it could do to her, broken as she is. I asked you, Mr. Akers, if you were sure you could protect her, that this was the right place for her, that this was something that you could entertain safely. And here we are.
Well, to the best of my ability, that was true. However,
look at her, Mr. Akers. How is this true?
I have been looking at her for days. But knowing who it was who sent her there, there was no, even all of us together could not have resisted her.
I can't in good conscience put this back in her. So I've lost. We as a community have lost a member in the Ascension War. You did that to us, Mr. Akers. The foreseeable future for her is a vegetable at best, or if you have some mercy in your soul, you could end it for her, or you could send her down your path. You started this, Mr. Akers. You need to end it.
There is no possibility that she can be made whole with her avatar again.
Not in a way that I could allow. She would be akin to what we call a marauder, someone who would take reality and bend it to their will and suffer no consequences for it.
Roscoe,
Someone
you saw on the
so
screen
broken.
it's been corrupted.
Yes, and I was about to ask if you had any idea who the other two spirits were.
I've never seen them before in my life. They could have been conquistadors from a different age. We saw moments pass, but you say she was gone a week, Mr.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Imagine being tormented that long and not feeling it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, to an extent, understand what happened. I mean, my own avatar was extinguished when I was embraced.
It is the worst pain a mage can live through, if they live at all. If I destroy the mask, I destroy her. That mask is an abomination, though, and it should not exist.
And as you're talking, Franklin, her eyes open and the mask starts to softly glow as things start rattling in Roscoe's shop. The thing in the eyes is not her looking back, it's something else.
And is it possible to work magic even without the avatar in you?
She's touching it. By all accounts, metaphysically, the moment you practice magic, you are touching your avatar. This is just a very real, tangible expression of that.
What do I see when I look at her?
How are you looking at her? You're going to use Sense the Unseen?
Yes.
Okay. You can roll your Resolve All specs. If Franklin would like to use any of his powers to sense things.
I use Prime Sight.
Okay.
Jenny's actually just gonna be like, I'm not real comfortable with and she cuts herself off because she activates Silence of Death and actually starts kind of like quick walking back down to the first floor. And she kind of just grabs Nicholas by the back of his neck and starts dragging towards the front door.
Okay. Messy crit from Roscoe. Both of you, Roscoe and Franklin. Roscoe, you've checked with Unseen or Sense the Unseen multiple times since she's been here. Never a link. But right now, there's a faint line that comes off the mask itself that has wrapped her in it. And you can tell it originates not from her, but from the mask itself. It is a sickly, bluish black color. For you, Franklin, since you have a better understanding of magic with what you're doing, the link is there between her and the mask avatar, but it's not of her choice. The mask has decided to extend and take control of her.
This is what you're going to be dealing with, Mr. Akers.
And well, I mean, I know what I see. Something coming out of the mask and wrapping her.
They're trying to take control. She's a vessel now.
Bloody hell, Roscoe.
And I will try to grab the mask and pull it from her.
As you go to grab the mask, take an aggravated damage as a backlash washes through you. It is defending itself. And you see Roscoe fly across the room from trying to touch the mask.
Well, that was unexpected.
If you can't take the parasite, take the vessel.
I'm unsure if I should even send that back to where it was forged, Mr. Akers. That's a fragment of someone's consciousness. The amount of damage it could do on the other side is disproportionate. And we don't know what it could do from the other side. If the spirits were used, they could still reach out and use her. I don't know what severing that cord will do to her. I could try.
I would ask you to try, and while he's doing that, I will pull out one of my knives and use Ball's Caress.
Okay. And you see him touch the knives to his blood, and the knives are covered in a sickly black ichor. You're going to attempt to sever that link between them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to? Are you trying to shield her from the link, break the link at the mask, or otherwise? How are you trying to sever the two?
I am going to use correspondence and prime and just kind of mime pulling the actual strand away from her, if I could.
And where the strand, as Franklin pulls it, where the strand is exposed, I will cut it close to the mask.
You're going to try to use your knives on it. Okay. As you go to pull it, it's fighting you, Franklin. It is. As you pull that thread, Samantha begins to shake and goes into a convulsion. And Roscoe, your knife passed right through it. It's not actually a physical thing. It's a.
Well, it seemed to. The reason he's doing this is it had devastating effect when we were fighting. What's her name? Amelia, and the dog thing on the other side of the shred.
Doesn't do it this time. This time it passes right through.
Then,
Franklin, you know if you continue, it's going to kill her.
I have to let go, Mr. Akers, or else I'd chance her death.
She has nothing else to live for at this point. So I stab her.
You are going to, wow. Okay. Roscoe, you hit the frenzy button, please. Three. As you go to stab her, you can't. Your hand stops short. Something in the back of your head is telling you not to do it.
Jackie's going to get up and push his hand down into her. Enough of this nonsense.
Jackie, give me a willpower on top of that.
I would try to shatter the mask as I see the intention.
Frenzy or willpower?
Frenzy, hit the button, because that uses your humanity with it. You're going to try to shatter the mask at the same time? See how many things it can defend
Can I
against?
willpower?
No, not in a willpower check.
Well, then I don't do it.
It is fighting against both of you. You feel it. Franklin, you realize it hasn't quite got the hang of what it's doing. It has a lot of power, but no real finesse yet. No real knowledge of how to control it. And as you unleash your own magic while it is distracted, everyone hears a loud crack as the mask shatters in her hand. Jackie and Roscoe, you are thrown back by the force of the explosion, but you don't take any damage from it because it's not a physical explosion. It is a spiritual one in many ways. And then Samantha falls back on the couch, eyes closed, sleeping, like she was when you came in.
Are you okay, Roscoe?
I am. Yes, are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
I tried.
I know. It affected me too. It was fighting against us both.
Can I try looking at the mess now that it's been shattered?
It's in pieces. It is, oddly enough, it's like one of the cornstarch fluids. It almost looks liquidy as it's laying on the floor, but it's not merging together. It just seems to be fluid rather than solid in this stage.
I'm going to use Oblivion Sight and look at it.
Now that's a good idea as you invoke your Oblivion Sight to see into the spiritual world.
Franklin, you see Jackie's eyes go pitch black.
It doesn't look liquid in the spirit world. It's a solid group of pieces. Give me a wits awareness real quick on top of your Oblivion Sight. I want to see if you can catch what's happening.
Instincts?
Sure.
I will do a willpower on that.
That one you can. You can't willpower a frenzy check.
Unfortunately. And that didn't do me any good.
3's
I
enough
got
to
3.
notice it's fraying at the edges on the other side, coming apart slowly.
It is coming apart slowly on the other side. It is fraying on its edges. And she blinks and her eyes go back to normal. It appears it has been destroyed. Or it at least is in process of its destruction.
As you're discussing it, suddenly you hear a sob from Samantha as her whole body's racked with sobs. And in between the sobs, you can hear her saying, "It's gone."
And does she look like she's coherent again?
How coherent is somebody who's sobbing? Her eyes are blinking. She is not using one-word responses.
Samantha?
And she looks up at you, and then she notices Franklin, and her eyes go wide. And in between sobs, "What happened? What did she do to me? It's gone."
there's a profound sadness. And all I can say is, I'm sorry. And I take a step back.
She looks at Franklin. There's nothing you can do. Bring it back. Give it back to me.
Samantha, it was corrupted.
Do you have any memory of what happened while you were in the underworld?
I remember her
Shadowlands?
pulling it from me. I could still feel it, but I couldn't do anything with it. And then it went into the fire, and I could feel the fire burning me as it was pulled forth and beaten into that shape.
Did you notice the others being added to it?
I heard them whispering, fighting for control.
It wanted to control you.
I can't. No, it can't be gone.
It can be.
And she
It
looks
is-
up at Roscoe with tears in her eyes. I've lost it all. How did you deal with it?
I have spent my every waking moment trying to find out how it could be restored. It can't.
Make me like you, Roscoe.
I will not. I cannot put this on anyone else. My avatar was taken from me by force when I was embraced. I would not wish this on anyone.
And then she is once again racked with sobs. Then I'll die. Don't force me to live this way, Roscoe. Give me something. Or take it away. Take it all away. If you can't, I'll ask Franklin to do it.
Roscoe is having a really, really hard time.
Mm-hmm. And she looks at Franklin.
I have stepped, like I have forced myself to stop because I've hit the wall. Like that's how far I've just been stepping back and just muttering, I'm sorry. I'm as bad as she is.
And
Jackie
is really
places a hand on his shoulder.
yes.
Do you need me to do this?
I must. Then there's only one thing I can do to save you. And he steps forward and stabs her.
This time there's nothing stopping you, Roscoe. And the blade is still coated as balls caress. And the poison hits her blood. And her skin instantly begins to go black from the poison coursing through her. And she smiles at you, Roscoe. And then says thank you.
I wish it could have been different.
As you all see the life, well, not Jenny, she's drugged Nicholas outside. As you see the life pass from her eyes. I am not going to give you a stain because in each of these, it did not break a chronicle tenet, and it did not break any of your own personal convictions.
Jackie heads downstairs to go outside to let Nicholas know. Please call Matthew. Samantha has expired. We need to remove the
And-
body.
Yeah, at that point, Nicholas will basically send a message to Matthew, like in their, I guess, sort of like code, just be like, bring the vehicle.
And she goes back inside and she goes and gives Roscoe a hug.
In the short period of time that we are left alone, I'm gonna shoot forward. Like the moment it's just me and Roscoe, and I'm just gonna lean in and I'm just like, this is the best that I can do for her, and I'm gonna use every bit of entropy and spirit and prime to make sure that she doesn't get back to the Shadowlands. I want her to move forward and not be tied back by any kind of fetter whatsoever.
And as you do this, Roscoe, you see her shimmer into view, wrapped inside of a cocoon of some kind, made of a wispy white material, or death call. And as you see Franklin concentrating, the call begins to unravel itself, break apart. And she's watching you, still smiling at you, as a light shines down from nowhere. And you see her lifting up into nothingness. That was very hard to pull off, Franklin. That will leave you quite exhausted for a little while.
Thank you for that.
If it weren't for your special knowledge and talents, I would have given you some paradox for that one. But you know something most mages don't.
It's the least I can do.
And Jackie walks in. She grabs a black silk handkerchief out of her purse,
Does Ginny and
hands it to Roscoe, and gives him a big old hug.
Nicholas follow after Jackie come back up?
Once he knows that Matthew's on the way, he'll go up just to sort of, because now he's in, I guess, like funerary mode. He's just gonna start basically processing the body for, like, making it appropriate for. I mean, it's not going to be a burial. That's not what he does. But give them a chance to say like the last goodbyes before they end up taking the body out.
And you see he had placed his punch knife that he always carried dead center of her heart. And you've seen balls caress. You know what that looks like.
Yeah, Nicholas won't say anything. He's focused on doing this. Like he always tries to do these things like as professionally as he can, but he's going to try and take extra care. Because even as oblivious as Nicholas is in these sort of situations, Nicholas is very accustomed to grief around death.
Jenny will follow them back up, but she's going to hang out kind of back away from the group, just kind of watching. So
As you're waiting for Matthew, I assume nobody's talking while they're waiting for Matthew.
Real quick, like once Nicholas is doing all of this, when he looks over at Franklin, does Franklin look particularly Emotional.
Percent exhausted and just doubled back onto his backside. Just
So
head
Nick-
down, hands up, just destroyed.
Once Nicholas has pretty much done all he can, he'll walk over to Franklin. Allow me. And then he'll sort of like reach out a hand towards his hand, not like forcing it onto him, but like reaching out his hand towards him.
I mean, as weakly as possible, I just take it.
And then I am going to use Obeya on him.
We pull it up because we don't use it that often.
Composure aspects,
Yep, composure
difficulty
aspects.
2. It basically, I'm just trying to do it like in the past. It's just been sort of like to emotionally calm him.
Okay. Let's see how you get. So, yep. Composure aspects. Plus, you get a power die.
Yep. So it's +1, and then the aspects, and then the composure.
You got 2 so far. You're going to willpower that last die, the only one you can?
Yeah.
3's enough for Franklin. As he touches you, you feel something wash over you a bit. It doesn't take away the pain because that's not quite what it would do, but it smooths the edge of the ragged hole that was created by the pain a bit.
And he doesn't let it he doesn't let the touch linger, like as because it's not something he can do as easily for Roscoe being kindred. And so once he's like the effect is done, he'll pull his hand off and not even like linger around him. He'll just kind of go back towards kind of keeping a watch over the body until Matthew gets there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jackie has moved Roscoe over to sit down, and she's sitting beside him, and allowing him to grieve.
It's not long before Matthew comes. It's hard to tell the time and the state of everyone here. When Matthew comes and helps carry Samantha down to, he's not so obvious as to pull up a hearse out front, because that would be kind of...
No, that's why I said like it's a very discreet vehicle.
Mhm.
And before they move the body, he'll give Roscoe a chance to, and Franklin, to say something before they move it, because the understanding is there will be no
Remains.
place to, she is going to disappear from here. So this is the last chance.
Well, I mean, I'll go over to her and just say, "I'm sorry, darling. I really do wish it could have been different."
I will take a small piece of some handkerchief or some accoutrement that Franklin has and tear it and put it in her hand. I know that you are never going to see that place again, and I just wish that your potential would have been met.
Given Nicholas's feelings about honor to the dead, because that is one of his own convictions. The vehicle Matthew has brought is a van, but there's actually a casket in the back to put her in, to treat the body with respect rather than just throwing it in the van.
Oh yeah, no, for the best way I can describe it, like it's a nondescript vehicle, but it's definitely one of those, like, on the inside, once you open it up, like on the outside, nobody would know the difference, but on the inside, it's very much like a body removal vehicle. They're very common with
Yeah, except in your
like
case,
funerary homes.
it's made to look respectful.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like a when this thing gets pulled out, it's trying to give them the last sort of semblance of oh yeah, respectful send off that he can give somebody, which is sort of like an insight for people who haven't seen it for Nicholas, where uh it's yeah.
And as Matthew takes the vehicle to return to your mortuary, I'm going to turn it over to the players if you wish to have any more scenes before I end the episode. Otherwise, I will end it here.
For the record, Nicholas is actually going to leave with the body. Like he'll take care of this one personally.
Yeah, you rode over with Jackie, so you can.
Yeah. Yep.
Jenny's going to approach Roscoe and just say, I know this is hard on you right now, but a couple nights we're going to hook back up and like we'll talk it out, or we'll go dancing or something. So she gives Roscoe a hug, and then she kind of like, you got my number if you need me. So, you know, I'll
Thank you, Jenny.
Oh yeah, of course, always happy to help. Sorry for dipping out.
No,
when the room starts shaking and the weird mask starts
it's totally
glowing,
understandable.
Jenny's out. So no. sorry. She gives Roscoe another hug. She's like, seriously, we'll go have some fun, man. So
thanks, Jenny.
And then she's gonna be like, everybody have a good night, or sorry, and she's gonna kind of jog out of the room.
Okay. So now it's down to Franklin, Jackie, and Roscoe.
Yeah, I think I need to walk this off for a bit.
Of course.
This was very bold, and I appreciate you doing what I could not do, Mr. Akers.
Well, I almost couldn't, but it was the best outcome I could think of for her, knowing what I know about being
The
in that
curse?
situation. Yes.
It's one of the few things that I don't envy about all the studying that I'm doing with Miss Graves.
Say hello to her for me, would you?
Sure. Do have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Be safe,
I'll
Mr.
leave.
Crown.
I try, Mr. Rond.
And so now we are down to Jackie and Roscoe.
You are welcome to stay at my haven if you wish, if the memories are too much for you tonight.
No, I need to be here and process it.
I understand. Please do call me if you need anything.
I will.
She gives him a kiss on the cheek, and she leaves.
And as the coterie goes their way, leaving Roscoe to come to terms with the events tonight and what he had to do. This is where we're going to end Season 10, Episode 6 of Windy City, everybody. I did warn people it was going to get dark this season. And it did. Of course, I'd like to thank our guest, Maddox, who showed up as Alessandro, and of course, Ravnos Archon, who came into this knowing some of what was going to happen, but not this. I'd like to thank you, the viewers, who have stuck through this. It was a tough episode for everybody involved. We actually had to do a table check because I wanted to make sure everybody was okay. Yeah. Of course, join us on our Discord. We cast our shows from there. All the people you see on our channel came from our Discord. So join us on Discord. We do hangouts when we can. Life's been rough on Mama and I lately. We haven't done a lot of hangouts like we wanted, but maybe our life will ease up a little and we'll get some hangouts. You want to catch back episodes, go to YouTube. You want to see the events that led up to tonight's episode, that's on our YouTube. Highs and lows and all of it. If you want to get you some Windy City merch, check out our merch store. If you want to check out our friends list, the Ivy Raven right down here. Ravnos Archon, Franklin himself, he has his own channel. And I'm going to give him a chance here in a second to shout out what he does so you can all hear about the amazing shit he has going on. You see, I did the merch, didn't I? You want to support the players, bits and donations, they go to the players, not the studio. You want to support the studio? KoFi. Subscribe on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, follow the channel or subscribe on the channel on YouTube, comment on the video, like the video, all that drives us up on the search rating. So that's one way to support us there. Franklin, tell everybody what you're doing other than crying tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to need ice cream. I run Vampire the Masquerade on Mondays. I run Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings on Tuesdays. And every other Thursday, I run a 7C campaign. Wednesdays, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me as we start our Dark Ages campaign. Next Saturday, you're going to see me play test a game that I came up with in a day. And then we're going to be starting a Star Wars campaign for June and July here on the channel, which I'm really excited about.
Speaking of that, there's a casting call open right now on our channel.
For the Star Wars game.
Star Wars game. You want to play Star Wars with Ravnos Archon
Get on our Discord
as the GM? Come to our Discord and apply.
Yeah.
He's looking for players for it. And the Dark Ages game tentatively is end of May, early June is the start.
That's what we're looking at. Because right now Shanky is transitioning out of one job and into another, and he wants to get through that transition and
make sure I know my schedule before we start a Wednesday night.
Yay, he got a new job.
Yep. No more 17-hour patching days.
Yeah.
Thank God. Now I'm going to turn it over to my wife for the schedule. It's a pretty easy schedule this week.
Yep. Thank you all so much for joining us for this intense episode of Windy City After Dark. Oh my gosh, that was an emotional roller coaster. Amazing guest players that bring it. I love it. And coming up over the next week, we have on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing Scion, Zero to Hero with Junie Von Esch, Lan He, and Unconscious Celestial, run by Zach Rules. You want to tune in because we have had our visitation from our parents, and we basically threw some Molotov cocktails on some goons in suits. So
purge it with fire.
Burn it. Literally half of this group is of Irish pantheon. The other half is of Greek. Shenanigans abound. Okay? So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Tuesday for that. And then on Saturday, the 6th, Ravnos Archon is running
the Goose store, or the Goose the Honkening. That's just
no.
No, it's Goose the Honkening.
Goose Tales the Honkening.
The Honkening.
I will be in that.
3 p.m. Eastern, and you're going to see Shanky in that, along with a few others.
Come see our great honkers.
It's going to be madness.
Honk if you love good comedy.
Honk.
Mess with the honk, you get the bonk. Remember that.
And of course, we'll be back here on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern with the next episode of Windy City After Dark, Season 10.
I don't think we'll get any darker than that next episode. Not any darker than this one. I know. Brad's like, well, really? We'll see. And as always, as we end these stream, everybody, please take mental health seriously. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. As you could see during this episode, we had to do a table check. I called for one because we take mental health of our players seriously. So reach out to those around you. Make sure they're okay. Do a real life table check of people around you. Check in to see if they're okay, because a lot of people aren't. And if you suffer from mental health issues, it's okay to not be okay. But right now in chat's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be a professional on the other end of the line to help you. And if you're not in the U.S., there's Find a Helpline. You can put in your country of origin and get the help you need, because mental health is health, everybody. And it's a serious subject that doesn't get enough discussion, and it should. So I'm going to turn it over for my wife for whatever she wants to end everything with.
Get your vaccines. Get your preventative screenings done, because early detection saves lives. Get your checkups, and if you're not feeling well, get checked out. And fuck the fascists. Fuck the GOP. If you are not registered to vote, please get registered. Please, please. Turn up in the 2024 election. Let's put the death blow on the GOP. And fuck the fascists worldwide.
As a veteran, I get very upset when I hear politicians wanting to slash veteran affairs budget by over 20%.
Yeah, the GOP put that in their budget.
Yeah, that is upsetting to me as a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rely on a lot of those services
They
because
care so much about the military.
while I personally do not rely on a lot of those services because I managed to get out of the military without some of the issues that affect my fellow veterans. Cutting the VA services when there are already not enough money to take care of the veterans that are out there, that's horrifying. So please vote for those that want to take care of those who have sacrificed already so much for this country.
That would be Democrats.
Yeah. So I do thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.